A king forced his own daughter to marry a pig and even made her live like one. The truth was, the king had 3 incredibly beautiful daughters. One day, as he was getting ready to visit the marketplace, he asked each of them what gift they wanted. The eldest asked for a golden dress. The second wanted a silver dress. But the youngest said, "I don't want any of that. I want a talking grape, a smiling apple, and a peach that rings like a bell." Those gifts were impossible to find, but the king adored his youngest daughter and promised to try. The king went to the market and bought the golden and silver dresses, but no matter how many merchants he asked, nobody had ever seen a talking grape, a smiling apple, or a bell-ringing peach. Heartbroken, the king started heading home. Suddenly, there was a loud crash. One of the wheels of his carriage had sunk deep into a ditch and wouldn't budge. The news spread quickly, and villagers, women, and children all came to help, but no one could free the carriage. Then, out of nowhere, a white pig appeared. It said, "I can help you, but in return, you must let me marry your youngest daughter." Without thinking, the king shook its hoof and agreed. The pig nudged the wheel with its snout, gave it one powerful shove, and the carriage popped right out. Then, as if by magic, the carriage flew all the way back to the palace. The king gave the first 2 daughters their beautiful dresses, and sadly told the youngest that he couldn't find her special gifts. Just then, a loud voice echoed outside the palace. Looking out the window, the king saw the same white pig arriving with a cart. "I've come to take the princess," the pig announced. The king had never intended to keep his promise, so he dressed a maid in the princess's clothes and sent her instead. But the pig was clever. One glance was enough to know she wasn't the real princess. The king panicked. When the youngest princess learned what had happened, she burst into tears. Desperate, the king came up with another plan. He dressed his daughter in filthy, torn clothes, hoping the pig would change its mind. But the moment the pig saw her, it jumped with joy, gently helped her into the cart, and took her away. The whole journey, the pig kept saying, "I'll make you very happy." But the princess cried the entire time. The pig brought her to what looked like a filthy pigsty. It made her sit on a pile of dirty straw and said, "This is your home now." The princess was devastated. Then it handed her a piece of dry cornbread. She forced herself to eat it and cried herself to sleep. The next morning, she woke up on a luxurious silk bed. She couldn't believe her eyes. The dirty pigsty had turned into a magnificent palace. Before she could understand what was happening, a group of maids rushed in, dressed her in elegant royal clothes, and escorted her to the grand dining hall. There, a strikingly handsome young man was waiting for her. He smiled and said, "Everything you see now belongs to you, and if you wish, I can belong to you too." The princess was stunned. Who was this man? Instead of answering, he led her into a beautiful garden. There she saw a talking grape, a smiling apple, and a peach that chimed like a bell. She was speechless. The young man finally revealed the truth. He was actually a king who had been cursed by a witch and transformed into a pig. The witch had told him that the curse would only be broken if he found a talking grape, a smiling apple, and a peach that rang like a bell. With the curse finally broken, the king celebrated with a magnificent royal wedding. By the way, have you ever eaten a peach?